You just have to be very patient with them, and it does take time. It may be stressful, but at the end of the day, that's either your sibling or your child, and you love them. At the end of the day, you do anything for them.
Having an autistic sibling changes your life in ways most people never see. Welcome to My Sibling is Autistic, the podcast where we share real stories, real conversations, and the lived experiences that come from growing up on the sibling side of autism. I'm your host, Christopher Reyes. I am a father of 2 autistic siblings. We live in Clovis, California. We also own an indoor play space for kids of all abilities, including those with autism. In each episode, we talk about the love, the challenges, the misunderstandings, and the moments that shape us when we grow up alongside someone who experiences the world in their own unique way. Whether you're a parent, a sibling, an educator, or someone who just wants to understand autism beyond the stereotypes, this is a space for empathy, learning, and connection. Because every sibling has a story, and these are the ones that need to be heard. Hello, everybody. I have a mother and daughter here in our podcast episode today. So, mom and daughter, please tell me your name and what do you do?
I'm Bianca, and I'm the mom. I have 4 kids total. I have 2 children on the spectrum. My son, Troy, who's 21. And then I have my daughter, Madeline, who's 19. My son is more on the high functioning side, talks, very independent. My daughter, Madeline, is more on the severe side of the spectrum, requires 24-hour care, pretty much everything for her personal necessity needs. And then I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. And then this is my daughter, Cameron. This is my second child, Cameron.
Hi, Cameron. Thanks for being here. Hi. So, tell me, what do you do? Are you still in school or you're working? Tell me more about yourself.
Right now I just work 2 jobs. That's my main focus. But eventually the next semester comes and I'm going to school, try to be an ultrasound tech.
Oh, so you want to work in healthcare? Yeah. So I'm a registered nurse myself. I work in healthcare, been working in healthcare for the past 15 years. So yeah, awesome. We need a lot more ultrasound techs. There's always a shortage of any healthcare profession. So yeah, happy to hear that you're going into the field.
Thank you.
How would you describe your 2 autistic siblings to someone who doesn't know them? Like, how would you describe them?
One of them is very talkative. He is very friendly. He'll talk to anyone, no matter where. Like if you're on the side of the street, he'll talk. The other one's more nonverbal. She does speak here and there, but not fully. Also, too, it is very hard because it's depending on their functioning levels, what you're going to be dealing with. Also, too, it just depends on their mood and their mood swings and pretty much the entire day on how they feel.
Oh, okay. How old are they again?
One's 20, and the other one's
21.
and the other one's 19.
Oh, okay. All right. So what's one thing people often misunderstand about your 2 autistic siblings?
That they're crazy.
Yeah, that's a stigma right there. People think, they easily use the word crazy and all that stuff. But, autism spectrum is such a wide spectrum. Anyone can be high functioning, low functioning, level 1, 2, 3, have different strengths and weaknesses. So
It just depends too, like the disability wise, like what you're really dealing with. It just depends. But a lot of people mislabel them as crazy or like they don't know what they're doing or they're retarded. But in reality, they're smart in their own little way. They just have to find it themselves in their own way.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, some of these kids with autism, they're smarter than us actually. So yeah. So when did you first realize that your 2 siblings experienced the world a different way? Going back to your childhood, when did you start? Like, did you start noticing elementary school or middle school?
So I would say for my brother, I would say high school. And then for my sister, high school as well. But like before they enter high school. So like the 8th grade year towards the freshman year.
Or did they get diagnosed late?
No, they got diagnosed when they were little. I want to say like 4.
Oh.
I don't really remember, but it was when they were little though.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So you realize that they experienced the world differently because, of the way they were interacting with people, right?
Mhm.
What are some of the early memories that stood out the most as you were growing up?
Probably when my brother started talking like fully, it like changed in a type of way. And then With my sister, she started it maybe when she was in high school. She started talking a little bit more, and that kind of changes for you because it's like they're not able to do things that we can do. So when they're doing it, if it's a type of special way that you feel.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah. How did having these two siblings of yours, how did that shape your childhood, you think? How did that make you different growing up?
Probably very hard because you got to take care of them. You know, you got to watch them 24/7. It's not an easy task. Now that they're a little older, it's a little different now in a way, but it does help out eventually.
So yeah, you mentioned it being hard. I mean, was there ever pressure for you to be the easy child, or you, hey, Cameron, you're not autistic. You're supposed to be easy. You're supposed to be easy for us to take care of. So did you ever feel that? No, no, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Bianca, so growing up with you have four kids, two neurotypicals, two neurodivergent. I mean, did you ever felt telling your did you ever tell your neurotypical kids, hey, you got to be easy. You better not give us a hard time. Did you ever come across that when your kids were growing up?
Not really. No, not at all, actually. I actually strived to try to treat them all the same. I noticed the differences with my son because my son, by the age of 2, wasn't talking, like wasn't making sounds, wasn't doing anything. And my experience from my oldest two, um, they were on point talking. I had 2 little chatterboxes. She has an older sister. So the development between the two, I tried really hard not to differentiate them, to not coddle one more than the other. And then with my daughter, when she was little, she was on track, did everything, was a chatterbox. And then at the age of 3.5, the light switch flipped, and the blank stare, the loss of language, the loss of certain skills that she had that she wasn't able to do. So I tried my hardest not to coddle her as well. Like I just tried across the board to treat them all the same. I don't know if that makes sense. I tried. I just, in a sense, I was kind of in denial that I didn't want to see those changes happening. But then later on, as they got school aged, like they came to light, and I had to recognize it.
Yeah, absolutely. We all love our kids the same, regardless if they're autistic or not. Yeah, everyone has their own specific needs, but yeah, everyone should be loved all the same. So, Bianca, how did you find the support raising these four kids? How did you like? Where were your resources? Where did you find them? And then what did you wish you had back in the day while they were going through elementary and middle school?
I wish I would have taken, because I was at the time when they were little and they were in elementary school and junior high, I was working. I didn't stop working until about 7 years ago. 7, 8 years ago is when I stopped working, and I fully committed my time to Madeline. But like the resources that we have now, like speech, psych services, CVRC, my son goes to an ATP program. I'm trying to get my daughter into an ATP program. I wish those services, besides the school, because, they get all those services in school. You have IEP. I wish we would have had those outside of school that we have now. Like, I feel that maybe some of the behaviors or, some of the stuff that my daughter currently, shows could have been helped with at an early age, and maybe she could have, I don't want to say progressed, but maybe some of those behaviors or whatever could have been, toned down at the time. CVRC, when they were under the age of 18, they only came out 1 year to check up on them, blah, blah, blah. But now, like, they have my son in a cooking class. They're very involved in ATP with my son, not so much my daughter, because we're still looking for a program. I just wish those services that are offered would have been offered when they were smaller. Just because I do feel that early intervention is key. And I really didn't have that. I worked full time. My husband worked full time. So we relied a lot on daycare. And I just wish that maybe we would have, taken a little bit more time to look at those resources when they were younger. And maybe, speech or something or sounds could have been, helped with at the time. But I just wish that the resources that we have now were available back then.
Yeah, I want to explain to the viewers what CVRC is. It's a Central Regional Valley Center. It's the regional center taking care of our kids here in the Fresno, Clovis, Merced, Visalia area. Yeah, we've come a long way, Bianca. And back in the day, we didn't have these resources. Now we have it. And I want to, give kudos to CVRC. I know they get a lot of flack sometimes. They get a lot of criticism, but we've come a long way. And I want to appreciate what the jobs that our CVRC caseworker do for all our kids with special needs. So, okay, let's go back to Cameron. So how do you and your sibling communicate the best? Let's start with your nonverbal sibling. Like how do you, how does she communicate with you? How do you communicate with her?
So I just talk to her fully. I'll be like, Maddie, are you done? She'll be like, done please, done please. So that's how she kind of talks in that type of way.
And your verbal, you're a bit high functioning brother. How do you communicate with him?
We talk to him fully, like in the full sentencing, like Troy, like take the balls and counts. He'd be like, okay, okay, or he'll be like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna make myself something to eat. So he can talk like us in a way.
When you're in public as a family, how did you have to advocate for your siblings? Did you have to protect them from certain people or events or incidents outside the house?
No, honestly, they really don't leave this house. They like to stay home. They're homebody. They don't like going out anywhere. But we do take them out sometimes, like to the grocery store. But other than that, no, we have like a little special stroller for the nonverbal. So she'll sit in there and then she'll be on her iPad and then we'll just be walking around. But she's in her own little world when she's on her iPad.
So yeah, Cameron, growing up, do you remember your mom telling you, "Hey, Cameron, your siblings are special. We need extra patience." Do you remember anything in that across that lines of language that your mom was telling you to have more patience with your siblings?
Yes, a couple of times, especially when they were younger. They'll be like, you gotta be patient with them. They don't understand. So it was very hard, but at the end of the day, we gotta understand that they need help and they're not be able to do things that we can do.
Okay. So Cameron, what hopes do you have for your two siblings? What do you hope for them in the future, 5 years, 10 years from now?
Maybe that they'll be able to talk to us fully,
Mhm.
be able to understand us.
And I'm pretty sure they'll be expecting your support, moral support. I see you're older. I mean, once your parents are gone, it's just gonna be the four of you, and you'll be able to support each other, right? Like you'll keep in contact, constant communication among each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Cameron, what advice would you give someone who learned that their sibling just became, diagnosed with autism? What advice would you give to those listening right now who, hey, they just realized or they just received news that their sibling was diagnosed?
To be very patient with them. It does take time. I also recommend to depending on their status of their disability, to just help them in general, general life stuff, like discipline them, tell them from no wrong from right. You just have to be very patient with them, and it does take time. It may be stressful, but at the end of the day, that's either your sibling or your child, and you love them. At the end of the day, you do anything for them.
Cool. Yeah. So I have two more questions here for you, Cameron. Your mom's beside you. Anything you want to tell her? You know, a- After everything, the past 20, 21 years growing up, all the sacrifices and everything, what message would you like to tell your mom?
They're very hard.
Hmm?
They're hard to handle. They're very hard to handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to say anything of like what would you tell your mom right now in terms of are you an I love you type of family, or do you would you like to thank them or in any way show gratitude? Do you want to mention something about a word of thanks?
Just thank you for everything, and you're doing a great job. No matter who tells you from right or wrong, or like anyone taking her down, she's doing a good job as a mom, and we love her for that.
Oh. And what would you tell? Let's say your two siblings fully understand what you're gonna say next, and what would you like to tell your two siblings if they were listening to this podcast?
That I love them, and I'll do anything for them.
Awesome. All right. Oh yeah, I have one more question. It is for Bianca. So Bianca, yeah, what message do you have to all your kids? What would you like? What parting wisdom would you like to tell them? Would you like to thank them? And uh, I know you talk amongst yourselves in your home for sure, but this is just for everyone else to know. Like, I mean, what would you like to tell your kids?
Never thought about that. Just that everything that has led up to this point has been for them. Everything that I have done has been for them. And I am trying my best as a mom to get them to be as independent as possible because, as you said, I'm not going to be here forever. So I want to make sure that I instill in them that independence is important. Discipline is important. And that everything that I've ever done has been for them. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think outside the box. I've never thought about that. Just because you kind of live in the moment when you have, special needs kids. I do worry and I do think about the future when I am gone. But right now I'm just trying my best to get them to be as independent as possible because I know once I'm gone and she has her life and my other daughter has her life, there is a possibility that they might have to be with a caregiver. And I just want to make sure that I prepared them enough to be able to be in that situation and be okay. That is my gift that I could give to them because I don't want them to feel like I failed them when they're not able to be on their own or when they need 24-hour assistance. Like I want to make sure that I did my part on to prepare them as much as I could. And I hope that they see that and I hope that they feel I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, beautiful. So to everyone listening, I just want to let you know, the parents of autistic kids, they're going through a lot, and they always have that lingering fear in the future. What's going to happen? Are there going to be enough resources? Or is there going to be enough government funding to take care? I mean, siblings can help to some degree, but it's building that support system that's going to help them once we parents are gone. My two kids are autistic as well. My autistic kids are just 7 and 5, and we also worry about the future. So we just got to build what we can right now, get all these resources, CVRC, ATP, all that stuff, finding that proper caregiver who's going to take care of them. And that's all we can do. And, just got to hope for the best, pray for the best. And Bianca, Cameron, I want to thank you for your time. You guys are awesome. To every sibling here with listening who has a sibling with autism, just keep on supporting them the best you can. We know you're all going to have families someday, have your own lives to take care of, but one message a day, one phone call a day to your autistic sibling will help a lot. One phone call to that caregiver taking care of your autistic care will mean a lot. So thank you everybody for listening and take care.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for listening to My Sibling is Autistic. If today's episode spoke to you, please subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need it. Your support helps us amplify sibling stories and build a more understanding, inclusive world. You can find clips of the show at We Rock Clovis on social media. Send us a message if you want to be on the podcast. Find resources, episode notes, and ways to get involved at werockclovis.com. Remember, you're not alone. Your experiences matter, and your story is worth telling. Until next time, thanks for being here.